Welcome to Let's Get Tender, Money Conversations That Matter, a video podcast series with certified money coach Marlene Elizabeth, with amazing weekly guests who share their inner challenges, personal triumphs, and inside tips and strategies so you can prosper, lead, and love bravely in business and life. So get comfy and get ready to grow money wings.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Let's Get Tender, Money Conversations That Matter. I'm your host, Marlene Elizabeth, and I am so happy that you've joined me today. If you are watching this show, it usually means that you are a new or aspiring female entrepreneur and you understand how important it is to have the right mindset when it comes to business. And boy, is this key when it comes to your relationship with money and your money mindset. And so in this show, I bring on all kinds of fabulous entrepreneurs, experts, leaders that share a bit of their journey when it comes to money. They share a bit of their money story, their challenges, and how they have also been able to overcome some of these challenges so that they can thrive in their businesses. And so today I am so very excited to welcome Mary Knippel to the show. Welcome to the show today, Mary.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. It's a pleasure.
Likewise, I am so excited to have this money chat with you. But before we get started, I would love to share with our viewers a little bit about your fabulous background. So Mary is also known as Writer Unleashed, and she is an inspirational speaker as well as the founder of yourwritingmentor.com and also Authentic Grace Publishing. She's fiercely committed to helping high-achieving women to have compassion for their struggle in crafting the inspirational and transformational message they know they are tasked to deliver to the world. With a firm philosophy that no one can tell your story except you, Mary invites you to take pen in hand to discern the wisdom of your life lessons with keen awareness as part of the synchronicity that plays in all events, both big and small. Using her 30 years as a journalist and the power of storytelling, Mary is on a mission to support you to be visible, vibrant, and prosperous. Mary promises that someone is indeed waiting to hear your story. And a little bit later in the show, Mary is going to be sharing a little bit more about her soon-to-be released memoir, The Secret Artist, as well as some of her virtual classes and workshops, and where you can receive a free gift. So once again, welcome to the show, Mary.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
So Mary, one of the questions that I always start with is, what is your first memory of money?
Well, I grew up a farm girl, and we didn't get an allowance. We got money when we wanted to do something or we needed something. All of our needs were taken care of. So I didn't really think about money until I was in high school, and I had a job typing envelopes, and that was, I was earning 50 cents an hour. And so I think that was the first concrete memory I have, outside of the fact that it cost 25 cents to go to the movies, 20 for the ticket and nickel for our treat. That's ingrained.
Right. So how you actually were able to earn income and how much it actually was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in your journey as an entrepreneur, and even maybe previously as a career person, I don't know if you can come from a 9-to-5 background as well, or if you just kind of started right out as an entrepreneur, but either way, did you discover that you eventually started seeing some limiting beliefs around money that started to present themselves and prevent you from achieving some of your financial goals?
Well, I think the biggest limiting belief was it was sleazy to talk about money, and when you had to make an offer, it's like, oh, if I put a dollar amount on this, are people still going to like me? And am I going to be presenting enough value for them to justify paying me what I think I'm worth. So that has been a battle to go out there and be confident in, I have a gift that I know I can help you with what you need. And then turning around and saying, oh, and here's the used car salesperson saying for $49.99, you too can. And so that's been a hurdle.
Absolutely. And I know that this is I love these examples that you give, because this is really a common challenge that many women face when it comes to pricing their services and products according to the value of those products and services, kind of being afraid to ask for that. And then also that fear of, well, am I providing the value that I'm asking for? And yeah, this sleazy part, this is a real biggie, this sense of like sales feeling icky and all of that. And especially when that's not at all, it doesn't reflect your truth at all. It does not reflect who you are, in the world, and who you want people to perceive you as either. I can relate to this as well in terms of, I remember struggling with, you can't be spiritual and ask for money at the same time. It really conflicted. Like, here I was, this really spiritual person, but I also am an entrepreneur. Oh, and it was hard to kind of marry those. So I really understand what you're saying. I know a lot of our viewers do as well. So what were some of the brave action steps that you started taking to overcome these self-limiting beliefs around money?
Well, even before I became an entrepreneur, I did have a 9-to-5 job. I was the secretary, and we were going through some health challenges, and I decided, and one of our medical professionals said, you may want to just shift your thinking about whatever. And I decided, okay, I'm totally shifting, and I am quitting working full time, and I'm going to school. It's going to be my turn. So I became a 30-year-old college freshman. And so that was something totally out of left field for a lot of people in my family who thought, what is she doing? But I had always wanted to get my degree in journalism, and I wasn't encouraged to do that because it wasn't realistic for this little farm girl. But being a secretary was realistic. And so that's what I did for almost 10 years. And then when I was in college, I had the opportunity to spend spring quarter in London. And that was just, that was my dream, my favorite city in the whole world. And I didn't have the finances to do that. And I took out a student loan, and surprised and shocked a lot of people. And they said, well, how could you do that? And I said, well, I've demonstrated that I could earn money before. And now that I'm in school for what I love, I'll get a job and support myself and pay off that loan, which is what I did. So that was a big shift in standing up for my value and standing up for myself.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So brave. So brave. Because isn't that true that when we're wanting something different, first we kind of do things based on what everyone expects of us, right? Especially as when we do whatever, and we find, oh, this isn't making me happy though. And then we dare to break out of that mold or out of those expectations that others have from us. That in itself is very courageous. And then to be able to even just believe in yourself to do that, right? Just to believe that I know that I can make the income, and now I'm doing what I love, so I'm definitely going to make better income, and then be able to pay back the loan. And you had your plan. Oh, that's fantastic. That's truly brave action steps there. So then what kind of along the journey then, what were some of the empowering beliefs then that you started developing around money that empower you in your business even to this day?
I think first and foremost, it's remembering that money is a tool. It's a resource that we have to move us farther along our path and to help us accomplish how we deliver our gifts. And it's it's not a big scary monster out there. It's a helpmate when we respect it and recognize that it's a resource that has limitations if we put limitations on it. But it's always a tool that is used for our benefit.
That's so well said. And it kind of shifts the whole side of, well, this is an icky topic to it's a whole new mindset, right? It's a whole new perspective for how you look at your money. And when you do that, it's like, gosh, if you can just change your perspective by just 1 degree, how many more opportunities does that open for you? Suddenly things that you felt were impossible become possible now. And I think you demonstrated that even when you were sharing earlier about the fact that, well, I didn't have the finances to go, but now you knew that you can still make it happen. You know, it's amazing when we shift our perspective. So Mary, what would you say are some lessons that you've learned by being in business that particularly you find relate to even to your relationship with money? Like, one of the examples I always give is, or I often give, is that when I became an entrepreneur, I started very independent. I was a very kind of, person that just did everything myself, strong, independent woman, right? And in business, you learn very quickly that you do need support in different ways, in different modalities. And so I learned that in my relationship to money, it was the same, that in order for me to get to that next level in my relationship with money, I needed support in a variety of ways. So that's one thing I learned as a business owner that transferred into my relationship with money. Have you had that same experience in your business?
Absolutely. We want to be strong and independent, and I can do this. And at the same time, we don't have the expertise in all of the areas that we need to make us fully successful. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to have a successful business. You can't be the jack of all trades and be an expert in every one of them. So that's one of the reasons why I am supportive, why my business is your writing mentor, because your business lives in language and my business is helping you write that language. I'm on your team and supporting you to show up however you want to talk about your business, and recognizing that we have our certain gifts and where we're strong, and then we seek out someone else or somebody else, bodies, who can support us in the areas that we need shoring up, and recognizing that we are stronger together.
Absolutely. We can go further together. We can impact more lives together, right? Than on our own. I mean, we can do only so much on our own. And this was a hard lesson for me. I know, and that includes when it comes to our relationship with money. There's only so far I can get when it comes to understanding my finances and how I can help my money work for me without support. And that support is just huge. Yes, yes. So what would you say, Mary, then is maybe something that you know to be true about money today that you wish you would have known back when? Is there anything that comes to mind for you?
Well, I don't know if this is exactly what you wanted for an answer, but what I'm hearing, the download, is to respect that you have limited time and energy, and in a lot of circumstances, there's limited money resources that we have, and to pay attention to and be aware of what your priorities are and how you want to accomplish them, and respect all of your resources. And what I do is have a conversation on paper with the situation, the resource that I'm asking to become available to me, which includes having a conversation with paper, with money on paper.
Yes, it embodies it, right? You really get it. And it's out. It's just like when you have a conversation with somebody, you can hold it in so much, but once it's out, then you can actually see it. It becomes more real, and you can then find the solutions that you need for it. But I love this example. This is powerful. I know that I can relate to what you're saying in terms of the fact that way early on, I think, I don't know if it's because it's the creator artist in me. I'm a very right brain person. I admire people who are so analytical and organized. And I'm not that person. I see the world in symbols and shapes. And sometimes there's no language for the emotions that I feel and all that, right? And so to be able to connect with money was really challenging for me at the beginning of my journey. And one of the particularly challenging aspects of it is that I really could not connect somehow with the value of it. And I just know that what happened for me one time is that I started to calculate how much it was going to cost me to, let's just say, work with a client, right? And how much that was actually going to cost me in my time, my valuable, precious time. And it just, for whatever reason, when I did that, it finally clicked. Money is valuable because of my precious time and your precious time and our time, which is limited on earth. That's what makes money so precious, because the exchange of it is that kind of wrapped up value of our time. And that is not a renewable resource like money is. We can always create more money, but we can never create more time. So the example you gave is, I'm particularly passionate about that, because I think we can live a long time without really recognizing what is it that makes money so valuable. And it's us, it's our own being, that we are so that valuable. We are that precious. And when you exchange money in that way, wow. Or even just like as a creator, right? What you've created, it's so precious. And so that money exchange, it's just kind of that mirror of just how valuable and precious you are. So thank you for that. So Mary, what would you say, are there any final like insights or tips that you'd love to share with viewers about your journey as an entrepreneur, or even just on this journey in your relationship to money?
Well, I love the way you gave me this segue into a limited amount of time, because my memoir, The Secret Artist, came about because of my second breast cancer diagnosis and me waking up to the fact that I only have one life, and what am I doing with it? I'm a writer and I'm not writing. I'm not encouraging other people to be writing. And so my memoir is about my breast cancer experience, but it also is inviting you to dig into your life experiences and how they have changed you. So at the end of every essay are writing prompts and talking about limited resources. We're on this earth to deliver a message to someone else. And if we don't show up and share the story that we are meant to share, then we do a disservice to who is waiting to hear our story. I firmly believe that someone is waiting to hear from us, how we have had a life experience that changed our trajectory, just like the breast cancer did. That was my first trajectory. The second one, this book has taken 10 years to come to fruition. I have been noodling and digging into it, and then stepping back, and with the little critic saying, who wants to hear your story? And why does your little voice matter? And it's like, nobody can tell your story from your perspective. No one. No one knows what you have been through. And it may be that there's someone that is waiting to hear your story so that they can have the courage to speak up for themselves. Mm-hmm. And I get passionate about it so much so that I cry. And a lot of times my audiences, the people I'm with, my clients, it doesn't matter. Somebody at the grocery store may start crying too, because that means we've gotten to the heart of the story. And when we get to talking about money, that's tangible. That's something that people understand, dollars and cents. There's also the energy of the money and what it means to have the impact on the people who have it or don't have it, and how you share it and what you do with the money.
Mm. Absolutely. I know that one time I heard this quote that when what you do it brings tears to your eyes, you know that that is what your purpose is. That's what your message is. That's what your story is. And that will also create the income that you're also deserving of and worthy of, that allows you to keep spreading that message, that helps you to continue to do it in a larger scale, as you said, money being the tool. So I just think you hit on something so powerful here about, we can be very heady. We can be right straight up from this and go through life like here because we don't want to allow ourselves to be in that heart space. But as entrepreneurs, part of our success is absolutely making sure that we bring all of ourselves, our head, our heart, our spirit. And that is where people feel our authenticity. And that's where people connect in order to trust to give the dollar to you for your services. So what you've shared is so, so precious, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Mary, let me ask, how can people, I could keep talking with you, but I know we're wrapping up with our time. How can viewers connect with you and learn more about your services, which are extremely powerful? As you shared earlier, part of branding when it comes to our businesses, we need to be able to brand, and branding is all about our story. So the fact that you're offering these very powerful services to help people get to the heart of their story, because it's a process, it takes us time, and it's so beneficial to have someone who can hear us from the outside looking in and help us to really get those golden nuggets. So how can people learn more about your services and your book?
Oh, and again, they can go to my website, yourwritingmentor.com. I am here to help you find your story, and that's why I consider myself your writing mentor. And they can sign up for a free conversation to talk about how to dive into their story. They can pre-order the book. They can also get a free gift, because I'm a firm believer in journaling. So I have my journal right here, and taking pen in hand, writing longhand. But they can go to yourwritingmentor.com/2016JGift and download a journal that I've created for them, and get into the habit of having a writing practice, just the way you would go to the gym and have your exercise practice. You can write for 15 minutes every day and do a download of what's going on in your life and the messages that your soul is waiting to give to you. But you have to be quiet, and you have to take pen in hand and slow down for a little bit. Every week I have a Friday writing prompt, and I give you these instructions on my blog. And I also send messages on a weekly basis about how you can get in touch with your story. And I'll talk about how I've been part of a writing conference, or if I'm speaking somewhere, I'll give you my calendar and links to come and talk to me in person. But I'm happy to talk to you online. I'm happy to talk to you on Zoom, because your story matters, and no one can help you tell your story except you. And more than once, people have told me, you're kind of like Barbara Walters, because I've never talked about that before, but you got me to talk. Sometimes they even cried. We cried together. So, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that they felt confident and open to share.
I love it. I love it. And you also approach this whole work too very creatively. I believe as we were getting ready for this interview, a week or two ago, you were sharing a very creative way that you were helping people to write. And it was kind of this embodied way of being able to, yeah, I love that. Can you share a little about that?
Next week, or in 2 weeks, I'm leaving for the Cedar Falls Christian Women's Writing Workshop, where I'm doing a workshop called Bead by Bead, which is a workshop that I've also done at my kitchen table, where we do something physical and talk about choosing the beads and choosing how we connect those beads, what it could be in a story, how you build the relationship between one paragraph and the next, and how it dispels what it is you want your reader or your audience to know. And what I love to do is to develop these different ways to get you thinking about what it is in front of you, so that your subconscious or your soul can give you those subconscious messages that it's been waiting to share with you, and things bubble up when your hands are busy. We've made journals, we made planners, we did collages. I love to have people at my kitchen table. It's a small group, very intimate experience, but I also work with people online, and I'm trying to figure out how to do the bead by bead online because you have to have the beads in hand, but I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Oh, absolutely. You could do it by mail, or you send them their kit.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. And especially, from my perspective, I'm thinking in terms of like your money story, because our money stories are full of wealth, and they spark a lot of emotions in us. And to be able to have different textured colored beads, all this, I just love it. So when you talk about story, think about this this is a great idea, viewers, to maybe go to your local craft store, pick up some beads, start playing with your money story, journaling, and adding the beads to it in some way, shape, or form. Use your creativity. It's powerful, but whatever it takes to be able to get connected with your money story, your story in general, to be able to really help your business soar, because whatever it is that you're doing in your business is needed out there. And there's a lot of speed bumps we have along the way. But this piece is so important about journaling and really making it embodied, bringing your creativity and your brave heart to the pictures. So Mary, thank you so much for joining us. And it's just been a pleasure. And I really look forward to learning more and keeping in touch. Keeping in touch about when your book's going to be released. And I'll be happy to share that with our viewers as well. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.